All right, it's Monday, November 17th, and I don't know if you can tell, but Kendall is currently working on making my Half Ironman training plan. We use ChatGPT to figure out a plan from now until March 28th, which is 18 weeks. And she's writing it out for me and putting it on Canva just so that it's easy for me to mark things off. When I did 75 hard, it was nice because then I could just check boxes and I feel a little bit more accomplished, rather than what I was doing up until now was just like, oh, like I should probably run for an hour today, or run in zone 2, or swim this amount. It's actually a plan that I can work through. And so that's what we're doing. It is 9 o'clock and we are gonna go to 24 Hour Fitness here in a little bit because it's been raining for the last week and a half. We're gonna try to capture my swimming mechanics so that we can send that off and get it evaluated by Effortless Swimming. If you guys don't know it, they're another huge YouTube channel, very popular in the swimming world. And they break down mechanics and all that stuff. And I've joined the group. And so we're gonna get that iron in the fire. I don't know how long it's gonna take for them to analyze the video, but I figured that'd be pretty cool to show you guys what that looks like and where I am in my swimming journey, and then how we can improve so that we can be successful for the Half Ironman. And that brings us to the first run of this week's workout, a 40-minute run in zone 2. As you can see, I'm going pretty slow here. Now, there's a lot of opinions about zone 2 running and whether or not that's helpful, or if it's just better to run based on feel. I am going off of the book called Be Iron Fit, which is a guide based on finishing an Ironman, or training up to finishing an Ironman. And basically the concept is you build your aerobic base. Running is an aerobic exercise, but most people do it wrong, where they're running at zone 4 or higher, which is what I was doing up until this point. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be like super well versed in the science of it, but basically from my understanding, what I'm doing right now in this base phase is to build up my aerobic base so that I can run a half marathon after swimming 1.2 miles and biking 56 miles. So my maximum heart rate for a zone 2 run is going to be anything under 149 beats per minute. And how I get there is 180 minus your age. So I cannot go above 149. Now, I've set up a couple of alerts on my watch to let me know if I'm in the zone or if I'm above the zone. And I kind of take it with a grain of salt because the watch is a lagging indicator. You can get a chest strap that's a little bit more accurate, but I just try not to stay in zone 3. The book calls zone 3 junk miles because it's not slow enough to build your aerobic base, and it's not fast enough to be challenging yourself. So zone 3 is kind of like no man's land. I'll link down below a video by Floris Gierman, who goes over zone 2 training for beginners and advanced athletes, and he goes into all the details of it. He does a great job, way better than I can explain. So check him out when you get a chance. But yep, zone 2 training for the first run of this week. And I'll talk a little bit more about it on our second run. All right, we are here in Arizona. We got in last night, or actually this morning at 3:30. Yesterday was a mess. I went to the pool at 8 o'clock and it was completely packed because I think the pool is closed Thursday and Friday this week. And so everybody front loaded their session. So my 8 o'clock slot, which is normally empty, was fully packed. Didn't get to go. And we drove to Arizona last night right after work. I ended up signing up for a 7-day pass at one of those small chain gyms. And get my swim workout in since I didn't get that in yesterday. And not looking forward to doing the whole spiel thing of going through and taking a tour. I used to manage a gym. I understand it's selling memberships, but I'm just here to work out. So we're pretty much ready, and I'll see you guys at the gym. Now, this is my first swim session in the base phase of the workout, and we're aiming for 12 to 1500 yards and focusing on technique. Now, I'm not a strong swimmer, so the 12 to 1500 yards takes me about an hour to finish. I hope to get to a point where I'm able to finish that amount of yardage in a smaller amount of time, but just right now, I'm still working on the technique and getting used to swimming. I've come to really enjoy swimming because it's a weakness of mine, and that's kind of what propelled me to get into triathlon training, challenging myself to swim and learning how to swim. And I've been lucky to have a lot of great help get me to this point. And I know there's still a ton of work to do. And so I'm just trusting the process. You'll see that there's pads and fins that I use throughout my workout to get me through the workout, but it's all a work in progress. Now, I've only been swimming for 6 months. So going from not being able to swim properly 25 yards to now being able to swim 100 yards and even 200 yards with fins, it's kind of cool to see the progress and to see how much more I can improve.
The goal was 1,300 and 1,500. We did 1,400. A lot of sprints. Mainly speed. No technique today. Or no focus on technique today. Time to cool down.
Just got done at the gym. It was 1,300 to 1,500 yards, and I just did 1,400 just to split the middle, and felt pretty good, felt pretty strong. I was mainly supposed to focus on technique today, but I just ended up focusing on getting the yardage in. Thankfully, there was a stopwatch on the top of the wall there that I could use to gauge how long I'm resting. And yeah, I try to aim for about 20 seconds or 30 seconds of rest in between each session or each go. And yeah, building up that cardio. Even after the first 100, I was tired, and so I know I need to get my swim cardio back, but to be able to hit 1,400 yards felt pretty good. And so we're about, I think, 4 months and 3 days out or something like that. So we have some time, but not enough time. Need to continue hitting the pool and pushing myself. All right, don't mind the hair, but we are at Anytime Fitness. I don't know if you can tell, but and we got class pass for the week, and we're gonna hit a quick leg day. Yesterday we did cycling. It was Odessa, Flume, and Jai Wolf themed. It was hard to film, so I didn't film it, but let's go get a quick leg workout in. Something I didn't do in preparing for my Olympic distance triathlon that I did in September was I didn't really incorporate a lot of strength training. Going into Half Ironman training, I definitely want to incorporate this into my workout. And so I have a couple of days of strength training throughout the week. And that's just to be able to build muscle and be able to build enough strength so that my body doesn't break down through the course of training for this Half Ironman. Now, Kendall kicks my ass every leg day. So she's kind of like my strength coach in that way. Every time we work out, I'm always sore the next day. So I know it's a good workout, and she also corrects my form, and she has a membership. So she gets me into these gyms if I don't have class pass, but definitely adding more leg days into my workout so that I can feel strong for the bike and the run, and hopefully be able to stay injury free. All right, change of plans. We were supposed to go on a run, but it is way too hot. Not Arizona hot, but still warmer than most. So I figured gonna go for a swim. We're back at the gym and get my swim on because tomorrow night we gotta drive back, and so I feel like I'd be less tired running. So we're gonna knock out the second swim session for the week. It is 1:53 on Thanksgiving Day. I think they close at 4 o'clock, so we got tons of time to get this in. So time to go for a swim. Empty pool. All right, the goal for today is all technique because we got the yardages out the other day. Let's focus on some technique today. My first laps in the pool are usually my fastest and the most relaxed. I'll be in the pool because I'm fresh. Normally I'm like super tired or I'm thinking too much in between the laps, and so I try to go pretty hard right off the bat. And I was surprised that I was able to get my first 100-yard swim in 1 minute and 10 seconds, which is the fastest I've ever done a 100-yard swim. So I'm definitely improving in some capacity, but I mainly want to focus on technique because I'm going to be swimming for 1.5 miles, and I'm not going to be fresh 40 minutes into the swim. So definitely focusing on technique more. Contrary to belief, just because you're swimming more yardages in the pool doesn't mean you're necessarily getting better. You might be forming bad habits and whatnot. So slowing that down and also like quieting my ego to be able to focus on technique more than trying to beat a time on the clock is something that I need to focus on as well. So we'll throw the fins on and just focus on one thing at a time, either focusing on my kicks or focusing on my entry or focusing on my catch or my breathing. It's a lot. And one of the bad habits that I definitely have is thinking too much in between the pool ends. And prior to this, I used to have a bad habit of flipping onto my back and taking a rest, but my swim coach, Jeff, would always push me to, rest at the end. And so thankfully I've grown out of that, but it's just staying focused and dumbing it down. I think as an adult learning how to swim, we're thinking too much. And what Jeff says is he's coached a lot of kids, and kids just don't think, they just do. And so for me, it's quieting the voices in my head in between these pool ends and just going for it. That's it, 1,400 yards. Feeling pretty good. Got my fastest ever 100-yard swim. 1 minute, 11 seconds. Did a 200, sprinkled a 200 in there. Feeling pretty good, feeling pretty strong. Still got plenty of time to improve. But feeling really, really good. What a good workout. Good swim this last week. And a great start to Ironman training. Now it's 2:51. Time to shower, change, and go enjoy some Thanksgiving food. All right, we are now getting ready to go on a run. Been meaning to go on a run all week, and it's just been getting way too hot. So it is 11:40, and it's not that hot right now. So we're gonna go for a quick, easy run. Very sore from yesterday's workout, and gonna take it easy. Zone 2 running, get the blood flowing, and not be as sore tomorrow. But overall, feeling pretty good. Got a solid week of training in, and it's only Friday. I hope you guys enjoy this type of video. Take you guys along on these workouts have been fun, and keeps me accountable. I'll film what I can film. If not, I'll see you guys after the run. And yeah. All right, workout done. I know it doesn't look like it, but we did 4.45 miles in an hour, roughly 13 minutes and 43 seconds a mile. Zone 2, it got really hot out there. Leg day yesterday kicked my butt, and I'm still sore. So hopefully this run helped out a ton. And yeah, that's gonna wrap up the workout for Arizona. I think I'll knock out 2 more workouts this weekend, and then we'll wrap up this video. But hope you guys are enjoying this. It's really fun documenting the process and seeing the progress. And yeah, time to eat leftovers. I'll see you guys back home. And that takes us to the last run of this week's workout, a 50 to 60 minute run in Zone 2. The last thing I'll say about Zone 2 running and what I'm changing in this phase of the workout is shifting away from thinking about how many miles I need to finish. I used to run 5 miles or aim for like a solid round number, 4 miles or 6 miles, or build up from there. But that book, Be Iron Fit, is changing the way I go about my training, thinking more of time in zones rather than how many miles I'm running. And so the idea is to be able to say that I've ran 3 hours in Zone 2 this week rather than X amount of miles. And that's just a different approach to training that I've been used to. I guess no one really taught me how to train. And so I'm going off of this book and something that's tried and true with people who are doing the sport that I'm doing. And instead of setting arbitrary goals to hit X amount of miles per week. And, you know, I have to trust the process. I have to trust in something. And this is a tried and true book that a lot of people who are doing Ironmans have referenced, and somebody that I know personally, Kendall's uncle, who does an Ironman, who inspired me to do an Ironman, has talked about. I've always asked him, oh, how many miles are you running today? And he's like, I don't know. I'm just going to go run for an hour. And I think approaching that is different than what I've been used to in the past. All right, that's a wrap on the workouts of the week. Week 1 down. It's going to be the same, more or less, for the next 3 weeks as we're building a base. And then we're going to improve on that and start building. Overall, felt pretty good. And yeah, feeling pretty strong. Got a lot to improve on. Seeing a lot of progress. And yeah, it'll be exciting to look back and see where we started and where we're at. So thank you guys for watching. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, do all those things, and we'll see you in the next video.